All right. Hello, how are you tonight? I want to welcome
Good.
you to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking to Tammi. This is my podcast that I'm showcasing amazing entrepreneurs, just like the one I have right here. And this is special to me because he is actually my stepson, and I absolutely adore what he's doing, and I support him 100% in that area. So, David, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is David. I'm 27 years old. I'm the creator of the Epic Arena. Currently, I'm working on a mobile game. It will be available on Android and iOS. And I'm also running a Kickstarter, actually it's ending this week. So if you ever get a chance to stop by and check it out, definitely feel free to follow the link in the description, or you can reach out to me on Facebook and Instagram or Twitter.
Awesome, awesome. So, David, what made you decide to undertake this particular thing that you're embarking on? What made you decide to create this comic book character? Was it something that you had thought about for years, or, how did that evolve?
Oh, sure. So what actually led to me creating my comic book character was actually my teacher in eighth grade. So in eighth grade, I would draw I would draw characters of actually characters that my sister would create. And he came over one day and said, "Hey, how about you come up with your own characters?" And I was like, that's interesting. I never really thought of that. Never really thought to create my own characters. I was so used to drawing, other people's characters. Like I was a fan of Pokemon, um, different comic books. I'll draw Batman, Superman. When I was in elementary school, I did a drawing on a teacher's door of Cat in the Hat. So I was basically, everyone loved when I drew other people's characters. So I never thought of creating my own characters. So that really made me think out of the box. The first thing that popped up in my head was, at the time, I loved dinosaurs. So the first thing that popped up in my head was, hey, why not a talking dinosaur, who goes on crazy adventures through space? And, that's what led to the creation of my character. Also, being a big fan of Jurassic Park, one of the main characters' favorite dinosaurs are Triceratops. So that's what inspired the creation of my character, Reno. And over time, it evolved with all the different influences I had. Influences such as, you might not, a lot of people aren't familiar with this, interests such as like, animes like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto,
Yes.
even inspiration from Spider-Man. But yeah, as different influences, things that interest me at the time, I'm really into science fiction. I grew up watching the classic Star Trek, the classic Star Wars, also the old school Man in a Suit Godzilla films. So it takes a lot of inspiration from this classic sci-fi.
That is amazing. That is amazing because what I admire about your generation is that you make a decision and decide to do something and just go for it. And you guys don't even think about, whether it's going to fail or, or whether it's going to catch on, because really it doesn't make a difference. It just makes a difference that you're able to put it out there, you're able to do what you need to do, and the people that you want to respond and the people that you want to um, encourage, the people you want to motivate, they're going to show up. They're going to show up. It's like your tribe. You'll find your tribe as you continue to work and do this stuff. Because there are people, I think about that now, and I think about my kids, how they love Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon and all this stuff, and they had some issues because at the church they were telling them that Pokemon and all these things were evil, which
Yeah, I actually have a funny story about that. So about when I was in, I'd say about third grade, um, my mom went to a non-denominational Christian church, and they had a sermon about how Pokemon different Pokemon characters were based off of demons. So, for instance, they pointed out the name Pikachu and said Pikachu is the demon, saying that pick at you, meaning the demon's gonna go after you and pick on you. So, long story short, came home with this big old packet about how Pokemon and all these games I was playing demonic, and me, I don't want to be playing games that have demons in them, so I threw them out. And my mom was very mad at the time, but yeah, a lot of there's a lot of misconception about anime. There's lots of misconceptions about anime. Unfortunately, churches basically call anything. Some churches call everything that people enjoy the devil, but that's another topic.
Yes, it is. We could talk about that for a long time. Yes, but yes, yes, I actually heard that. I probably heard that same sermon because it was amazing. And for me, I always try to be encouraging to my children, to allow them to do things that they enjoyed and stuff like that. And so we would find a way around it and things like that. And I just kind of didn't even support that because, to be honest, I couldn't see there was not any backup to it. I mean, there's nothing supporting that idea that it was evil, and the children didn't change because they like Pokemon or Pikachu and Dragon Ball Z and all these things in anime. And my children are from that generation and they love all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm encouraged when I see you forging forward, even past all of that stuff, to be a creative and create something that is near and dear and close to your heart. So where do you see your comic book going? Do you see it becoming a board game? Do you see it? What other kind of things do you see it doing?
Oh, sure. With this comic book, we're actually taking a leap ahead. So we see the interest in mobile games and digital games. What we're trying to do is get ahead of the curve, and we're trying to combine our comic book actually with a digital game. And that's what led to the creation of the mobile game. Now we're kind of, we're in a way, we're kind of reinventing the wheel because this has been done before, but not the way we're doing it. Meaning the game progresses with the comic book. You can actually build pieces. So for instance, comic book pages will be spread out throughout the game. And you collect pieces of that comic book and you can view it in the menu. Something that's never been done before. And of course, we made sure that we got our ideas copywritten.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's what I do. That's what I see. So at the same time, we're working on a physical comic book. But what I see the future of this comic book being is that this comic book will merge with our digital game, our mobile applications. I also see, maybe in the future, possibly we create an actual pilot episode that we would then pitch to maybe Netflix or Hulu. We're more interested in Netflix, but the future of the comic book I see it becoming a mobile game, a mobile application, and I also see it going possibly animated series going to Netflix. So that's what I see as the future of this comic book.
So you took something that somebody else already had created to another level. You like 10x'd it? Took it to warp factor 10? I like Star Trek too. Oh, that is amazing. What kind of advice would you give to someone who is looking at doing what you're doing, or even taking it to a level that maybe hasn't been done or maybe has, and need to 10x it, take it to warp factor 10, just as you're doing? What kind of advice would you give to a young person that is seeing this and saying, hey, I think I would like to do something in that area, or, go in that direction. What kind of advice would help you? Mainly asking, like, if you had somebody that you could pick their brain, what would you ask them?
Sure. As far as advice I would give to anyone, anyone younger looking up to me or following me, my advice to them is stay the course, focus on your skills. Like, for instance, I have a background in IT. I'm a network engineer. And how that associates with the art application is because I have an interest, and since I have a general interest in technology, I took it on myself to teach myself how to code. I taught myself Java, HTML, and CSS.
Awesome.
So I carried over that interest into my art or into my craft. So, and also my advice to kids is, it's not always going to be a straight course to your goal. You might have to work at Wendy's while you're working on your comic book.
Yes.
You might have to be a busser to basically, buy all the art supplies that you need. Or say, for instance, you might even have to get into construction to get to where you need to go. But it's all okay. Not everyone's going to not everyone is destined to work for Disney or a big studio in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of younger generations are being fed, like, you go to school, you graduate, you get a job, and you go from there. Life is like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't go like this.
Yes.
We want it to go like that, but no, it's like this.
Like this. Like my camera, right?
Yeah, we should leave that. I like that. That was fun.
It's funny. It's like, a lot of times young people don't have patience. And that is what is absolutely required. They expect that, just because they saw so-and-so on YouTube and they have, 90,000 subscribers and they have a following, and they're even making money at whatever the thing is that they're doing. They don't realize it might have taken them 5, 7, 10 years to get that. It
Absolutely.
It wasn't yesterday, and
they say that statistics say that most businesses don't even make a profit until their, first 3 to 5 years, even
yes,
10 years.
And that's almost if you're lucky. And
that's if you're lucky. So, I think I wouldn't say more of a generational, but I do think it's cultural. Like, I feel like as a culture, we pay more attention to, we have a habit of idolizing people, almost looking as if they're like, demigods.
Yes,
but
I agree.
We don't pay attention to the journey.
Yes.
Like, look how, for instance, I look at the East, and they emphasize the importance of the journey. The journey to the mountain.
Yes.
Pay attention to the person here,
right.
all the way up here, but we don't pay attention to, the journey up there. So, I just think the generation is just a product of their environment, that doesn't pay attention to their journey.
Absolutely.
Journey, and just looks at people. It's kind of like why, while you're getting to that point, that's why you meet so many obstacles, because our culture is just, it's just, we're just so focused at the top, people at the top. We're not focused on the journey there. So I know a lot of artists out, they're really frustrated with, their art's not getting any likes, videos aren't getting any, even me, they're not getting subscribers, they're not getting downloads on their apps, no one's buying their comic books, but it's all a part of the journey. Just stay the course, focus on your skills, and be different.
Awesome. That is awesome. So my next question, that brought me into it. My next question to you is, how do you keep yourself inspired? when you're not getting the likes that you think you should, or hell, let's go deeper. Not making the money that you think you should, or not reaping the benefits that, from what you put into it. How do you keep yourself encouraged and inspired to continue on? And I'm talking about, what type of habits and things do you do? Do you do mirror talk? I mean, do you?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you have music that you use to encourage you and inspire you? Because I know for me, sometimes when I'm dealing with some issues that I deal with as far as business, and some of the fears that pop up for me, I like music, so I put on Eminem. I'm Not Afraid. That pumps me up and gets me to a place where I can put on All I Do Is Win, 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 No Matter What, DJ Khaled. So what are things that you use to keep you inspired and keep you looking at the journey and not, trying to rush the goal?
Well, I guess what keeps me to stay the course is, I don't really see, I don't see I look at my dream as my purpose.
Awesome.
It defines who I am.
Ah, that's powerful.
It's me. And because it's such an important part of me, I stay the course because this is my purpose. This is why I'm here. I'm here to create. I'm here to tell stories that have never been told. It's my purpose. It's my duty. I just can't see life without it,
Oh, awesome.
So that's how I stay the course, because, whenever I'm down, I was like, David, why are you here? You're not here for yourself. You're here for those people,
That's awesome.
story, you're here for them. You stick it out for them. A lot of my, I don't really go too much into the story, but a lot of my stories delve into things I experienced as a child.
Yes.
Not fitting in. Being the nerd. Kind of being the one bullied, and I kind of want to be there. People dealing with depression. And I kind of want to be there for them. I would like to create a hero where they could connect with and say, hey, if that hero could do it, I could do it too. Kind of like how characters think of
Luke Cage.
Man, Luke Cage.
Yeah. That was what came to my mind, was like Luke Cage. People can connect to that type of energy. It's like, because he's bad to the bone, but he doesn't hurt anybody that doesn't need to be hurt.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't go out, just beating up people because he can.
Mm-hmm.
But you can connect to that type of energy and that spirit and stuff. And I can see that in your characters. I haven't talked to you about it a lot, but I actually looked at a lot of that stuff, and I actually shared a lot of your stuff. And because I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of the man that you have become, and that you are becoming. In terms of getting this out here and being creative and, putting out characters that people can connect to and that people can see themselves in. And that's the beauty of all of this to me, because it's like if you can connect to a person and it helps people who are dealing with depression, because, to be quite honest with you, people have dealt with depression for years and years and years. They have pills and stuff that you can take. They have all kinds of things, counseling. People go to counselors for 50 freaking years, because they're depressed, you know what I mean? But there are times when you can see these characters and you can sit down and look at them. And even me, I got a Lion King coloring book that I use because I like the Lion King.
Yeah.
And I like to color, and it's a good therapy for me. And so I'm thinking, as people are able to see your comic books and your games and play your games and stuff, and as you get to the place where you have different inspiring sections for people that are dealing with all kinds of issues and stuff, then, you know, there's healing there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part that I'm just so excited about, because I believe that there are all kinds of ways to get healing. You know, I mean, I suffering from depression myself. I tried every pill that they had at the time. They gave me all kinds of pills, but none of that stuff ever worked. But you know what works for me? Music. Music. I can play music. I can dance, you know, I can sing to something. And that helps to change the mood for me and change the energy for me, you know, and also prayer, you know, and all that. You know, you can't discount all those things. I'm not, exactly. And I was like saying, I'm not saying you have to pray to certain people and, you know, whatever you believe. I'm not, you know, I'm not stressed about that. However, I do believe that, you know, whatever it is that you can use in order to help you to move from that place of anxiety and depression, because I mean, you have to think about it. All those things cause the rate of suicide to like go so high. You know, there are people killing themselves at alarming rates, and what for? You know, but you have a key, you have inspiration there, and you have someone that they can identify with, and someone that they can see as help, you know, in your games and in your comic books and in your characters. And I mean, I have such a great vision for what you're doing, and I'm so excited to just be this close to you, to be able to watch it unfold. You know, and I'm grateful for this opportunity that I have to talk to you this way, and to share what you're doing with, you know, my audience and with others and whoever's out there that needs to hear, you know, an inspiring story. And that's my love. So are you planning to, and I know this is a question that probably you're not sure of yet because, you know, it's down the road, but are you planning to sell it? You know, if you were offered an opportunity, what would you sell it for?
If I was offered an opportunity to sell, like my business,
Yeah, like your character.
mm.
Or would you just rent it out?
um, well, I kind of look at
Your
I
baby?
compare it to Tokyo Studios' ownership of Godzilla, where, for instance, they'll temporarily give the rights in order to create a film, like they do with Legendary Pictures.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't actually, what I see with my characters in Epic Arena, I would like it to be something that I can pass down, you know, 2 generations. You know, if they decide to turn around and sell it, you know, hey, I'm gone. So,
Right.
but I definitely could see me partnering with companies, or studios, artists, and possibly saying, hey, you know, I think you have a great vision for this character, and yeah, I could definitely loan you the rights to the character to produce this movie that you would like. So kind of like how Toho Studios, you know, they own Godzilla and all the monsters.
But they rent them out.
Someone decides to make a film, you know, they'll extend rights out for them and make a film, and if it does well, you know, they continue to make films.
That's awesome. That is
Mm-hmm.
so powerful. Oh my goodness. This has been such an eye opener, and I believe that it's going to help even people, you know, not just young people. I use the word young people for you because, you know, now you're getting older.
Right.
But but I'm not talking about even young people, because I believe that this will inspire, I mean, more than a generation, you know,
Right.
and I believe that it's something that, you know, people need to see. And I'm so privileged that you have allowed me to get a peep into your vision and a peep into your journey, because I believe that the journey is all important, you know, and I didn't always
Yes.
believe that.
The journey is very important. It
Yeah.
can be overlooked.
Yes, because people always want to get, you know, from here to here, and they want to do it in that much time.
Yeah.
And it's not always the case. And the other thing is you lose something and you miss out on something if you're not
Right.
enjoying and appreciating the journey. And I mean, the journey is not always fun and it's not always
No,
good,
it's
not
not.
always happy.
No.
However, if you begin to get to that place where you're looking at the journey and you're watching the energy that's involved in that journey and the things that you're accomplishing along the way, because you know you're doing things that probably nobody in your family has done.
No.
And it's remarkable. And it's not just your family, but I mean, even a lot of kids in your generation, they want to do stuff, but they, you know, they're afraid. They don't want to put it out there. You know, they don't think they're good enough. There's all types of reasons why people don't take those steps. So if you were talking to someone and they were talking about that, they were expressing fear, or they may have even shared with you, you know, I want to do this, but I'm scared. You know, what kind of things would you say to them?
What I would tell, imagine if you created and, you know, and it could have been successful, you know. Another saying I heard a pastor say a long time ago, he was telling me how much talent, you know, the place with one of the places with the most talent is not a country, you know, it's not a city or a state, it's the grave.
Terry.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, you make it happen now, or, you know, or basically what gets anyone to start creating is, don't think of it as something just for you, as self-fulfillment. Think about the people you'll impact.
Yes.
You think about the people that you impact, you'll have the drive to put out there. People might not like it, but someone will like it.
Yes.
And also be open to feedback. You know, also be open to constructive feedback. You know how to, some feedback is just like, oh, this person sucks. You know, there has to be an explanation. You know, you can't just, you know, you can't just take that with a grain of salt. But, you know, pay attention to people that genuinely want to help you. But, you know, as far as like, man, I just can't get through it, you know, you know, I'm afraid to put it out. You know, just think about those people. Think about those people that give you purpose. Think about who it's for, you know. And I think a lot of people, when they create things, there's always a greater purpose behind it. Think about the greater purpose.
Yes. That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That is so powerful, especially for someone so young. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because we get there. I tell my kids, once you hit 30, you just got to decide what you're gonna do, and it's time to
Right.
go for it. You know, and then you know,
That's part of my inspiration too. You know, I'm 3 years away from 30, so
yes,
trying to get as much done as possible.
right,
That's another inspiration for me. So Milestones is another one. You know, I just want to, you know, I just want to get this comic book completed. I want this mobile game completed. I would like it all completed before I turn 30.
no,
So
you're on your way.
remember, yeah,
You know, you're on your way. And the thing is even that, it's like you have milestones and goals, you know, and things that you want to accomplish. Now, but if it doesn't happen exactly as you want it to, you're still going to keep going.
right. Because
You're
at
going to keep
least I
going.
made an effort. You know.
Yes. And you're not going to get discouraged. You're going to, for like a second, and then you get over it, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely do get discouraged, but you know, I do have a secret weapon, and my secret weapon is destiny.
Awesome.
You know,
Awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
she's
It's
always
funny.
there.
We talk about how when you look at men that are successful, you look behind them, they got good women, you know, and
Yes,
that
that's
is
it.
always the case. It's amazing how that works. Well, these days, you know, might be a good man, but you know. but but that's always the case. You know, it's like, you know, when you have a powerhouse couple, you know, you have a man that's doing things and you have a woman that's supporting him and that's being his backbone and that's helping him and pushing him and saying, hey, you can do this, you got this, you know, you got this, I got you. That makes a difference. I mean,
It does
that
make
is
a
like
difference.
powerful, because if you look around and you see, you know, any of these men that are doing awesome things and that are powerful men, especially men of color, they got a good woman behind them.
Absolutely.
You know, they have a good woman that's, you know, saying good things and supporting them and not trying to tear them down, but build them up. And that is, to me, that's the most amazing thing to see, you know, because I just started looking around and looking at that, you know, and I was actually having a conversation with your dad about that. I said, you know, I said, you look around, I said, you see these men that you admire and that are
There's
doing
a
things.
powerful man. There's a powerful woman right behind.
Yes. I mean, look at our president,
Yeah.
Obama. You know, he got that beautiful woman right, you know, on his side. I'm sure there were moments when he said, I don't know if I could do this. And she said, baby, you got this. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
I can just imagine that scene, because I know how important and powerful that is. And
It's
so,
so important to have someone that, you know, to have someone believing in you,
yes.
you know, especially your spouse or significant other.
Yes, absolutely. Because I mean, the thing is that really, I believe, was how God designed it when He created woman for a man. You know, I believe that that's how He designed it, was so that, you know, she could be there and support him, or he could support her, or vice versa, however it's supposed to go.
Mhm.
And the fact that you brought that up and said that that's your rock, that is so inspiring. Oh my God. That blesses not only me, but I'm sure everybody that's watching, because we love to see that, especially in young people, you know, because these days, you know, sometimes it's few and far between, because so many young people are choosing not to get partners long term. You know, they're choosing not to get married. You know, they're making these choices. And sometimes I think it's based on, you know, how they grew up. Maybe they came from a product of divorce or whatever, and they're scared and all that stuff. And I understand all that.
Oh yeah,
However,
absolutely.
you got to get beyond it, exactly, and you got to get your rock. You know, it's like, I feel like so many things that I do, I couldn't even do without the support of your father, because he's so amazing that way. He supports me, and he he actually pushes me because he sees what's in me. And you know, even times when I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, he's like, yes you can, you're good, you know, you're blah blah blah, you know. And he supports and encourages, and that is priceless to me. You know, that is so priceless. And just to hear you say that, you know, she's your secret weapon, powerful. That is so powerful. Did she want to say hey?
I guess.
That everybody, that's Destiny, his
Yeah,
rock.
she's back there painting.
See, she's working.
Yeah, she's working. She's always working.
So that's amazing. So anyway, I guess we're gonna wrap this thing up, because we've been talking now for a while, and
Yes.
I'm so excited. My guest, David Morrison II, and his Epic of Reno. He is following his dream, and he's making big things happen. He also has a Kickstarter that we're asking for, you know, anybody that wants to contribute to his Kickstarter. He's going to give me the details. I'm going to put them in the post. This way you can click on it and go straight there if you need to. I'm also going to tell you, he's going to tell you a little bit more about himself, and he's going to tell you where you can find him on social media. David?
Oh, sure. So, you can find me on social media. My business, Cretaceous Designs LLC. So when you think of Cretaceous, think of the period where where the dinosaurs went extinct. So Cretaceous Designs LLC. You can find it on Facebook, Twitter. Our page is the Epic Arena. Instagram, our page is Cretaceous Designs, where you can see art. Also, when you go to kickstarter.com, make sure you search for the Epic Arena, and it should pop up. And I think that covers everything.
That is awesome. And we're going to actually make sure that we drop all those links in the post, because we're going to post this thing as well as Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. We're going to put the links and everything in. That way you can easily click on it so that you can donate toward his Kickstarters to help them, so that you can say that I was a part of helping beautiful young family fulfill their dreams. So thank you so much for joining me. Tammi Morrison, straight out of Savannah, talking with Tammi, and my guest, David Morrison II. Of course, I'm biased, but I think his stuff is amazing, and I think you will too. And I just have to say, when I saw Cretaceous Designs, it made me think of a dessert. I don't know. I thought of a dessert. I was like, oh, I wonder what that tastes like. I don't know. Maybe it's my love affair with food. Who knows? But anyway, thank you so much.
Eggs.
Go ahead.
We're serving dino eggs.
Right? You know, what did Fred Flintstone used to?
Yeah, Fred
Brontosaurus burgers.
Brontosaurus burgers.
Yes. All right. So thank you so much for joining, and I hope you catch us again. We'll be seeing you later. Thank you. Bye.